Hello, and welcome to the 8-Bit Computer Club. I'm Brian, and we're about to talk about 8-bit computing. For the next couple of hours, we're going to look at the Commodore demo scene. We're going to look at this TI-99 keyboard, look at a couple of soldering irons, USB wireless style. Well, one of them is actually wireless, the other one is wired. USB still. Oh, hi, Zoe. How's it going? We also always do this with a chat room. And we'll probably do some other content related to this in the longer form for YouTube later. Right now, I am looking for a few files, and we will get this party started. Hi, Zoe. How's it going? How is your weekend so far? I hope it's delicious. Any scarf making this week? Are you making any more Tom Baker scarving? The scarves. Has your house ever just been totally taken over by Doctor Who Tom Baker scarves? Oh, yeah? Yeah, working on the fourth one. Now, I know you have at least two in your home that you're waiting to bring, right? So I know you at least have those two. How about those other ones? Are those also going to be hanging around the house? Ba-dum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. After this one, I'll make one the size of my house. Well, I'm bringing all four. One for me and three for people at Nerdtacular. Very good. About to load up the very second Commodore disk in here so that we can turn on our Ultimate, right? Gonna turn on the Commodore Ultimate down here on level 2, right? Let's get around that coffee. So I'm still looking for Sprite Magic. Let's see if I can plug this in the back of the computer since it is USB-A. Where you gotta you gotta be careful. You don't want to mess up that cassette. Zoe says, well, I'm bringing all... Yeah, okay. I can't wait for Nerdtacular. Hanging out with you and everybody from the community. It's going to be amazing. And I really should have already posted this to the social medias. But I did not. There we go. But you know what I did do? I preloaded all of them. So all I do is just click post. Post. And posted. Oh, it's going to be the most. I can't wait to play some video games with you guys live there. It's going to be so much fun. And maybe at the end of this stream, I'm hoping to give some more information about the game I'm working on for 8-bit computers, specifically for the Commodore 64. And maybe the prototype will be ready for us to mess around with it. Oh, hi, Houdini7. Just getting my coffee on real quick so I can get all jacked up and scream. Why am I off center? Something ain't right. That ain't the right way. There we go. Let's go that way. A little better. A little better. Houdini7, how have you been? How are things going? Let's get ourselves at least one of our first demos here. We're going to hop down. Have we done Mojo yet? I don't think we've done Neon. Let's look at this. Information. For Neon was released on February 11th, 2012. Triad was founded in July 1986. So let's get started with our first demo from the demo scene. Did you enjoy that Zoe? I did get a chance. If you haven't had a chance to see Daily Tech News with Tom Merritt and Sarah Lane, and Roger was there too. I don't think he was on screen though. But we talked about the Commodore 64 Ultimate just recently. That was a lot of fun. I'll try to remember to post a link to that. Unfortunately, we recorded it before the firmware dropped the 1.0, and so I was complaining about the lack of USB mouse support. And since then they've rectified that. Now they've also had some more exciting news with firmware and talking about locking it down. That was a bit of a blowback, right? We'll talk a little bit about that tonight in the 8-bit computing world. Monkey, what is up? Zoe says, I might not be able to post a link here, but it's somewhere on Brian's Discord. Zoe, I think I've turned off link protection. Dr. Tobin is here. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, Monkey says, I saw that article the other day about firmware lockdown. They backtracked on that a little bit, by the way. We'll talk about that as well. Maybe we'll look up the article. Let's get started with our first demo. Warning, 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 flashing lights. Flashing lights. I'm going to get the topics put in here as well here just in a second. But while we get all that started, we're going to check out our first demo from the demo scene. Let's get ready to have a good Friday night. Did somebody what? Flip disk for Days of Future Past. What? All right, wait. That's it? That's the video? That's the whole thing? That's the whole thing? I gotta flip the disc already? There's no way that this is a 2-discer and the whole thing was just that. Is it time for me to flip the disc? It says so. I don't know why they would need 2, but that is interesting. Let's go ahead and make sure we mount this right instead of the other. All right, here we go. Oh, that was kind of cool. Dealer quality software. Yeah. Order your software directly from Commodore. Current CEO of Commodore 64 as it exists now, recently posted a great video about Knight Rider and that car. Git feels timely. Oh, look at that! The gesture tracking. Let me press the channel up button on my remote. Hold on a second. I gotta adjust my tracking. wireless style. Oh, I like that. Vaz like. 87 was your first trip to Cali? Nice. That is pretty freaking cool. What does that say? Data Storm. Data Storm, yeah! You thought California would look a lot more like this. I love it. Spend your days rocking out. Slowing down, Data Storm 87. 87. Yeah, there's definitely lots of neon. Yeah. Oh, we got a little post. Oh, you have seen Triad speeding at Data Storm, but reached the stoplight for tonight. So this is obviously a Data Storm, right? Handshakes to the cream of the scene. Ooh, I like that term. I like it. Scaling bad new BMX riders. The Data Storm organizers. The DS. Pretty sexy. I liked it. All right, looks like that's it. Looks like it's just repeating now. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Well, that was enjoyable. Very nostalgia, much cool, Tolbert says. Agreed. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at who brought us this beautiful work here. So we usually head over for this part. We head over to Commodore.net. You go to Commodore.net and go to press play. That's where this cassette lives. This little cassette right here that we've been using to load up, right? Also got a, this looks like it's bleeding over just a little bit. I'm gonna cut that in. There we go. Now, what is this Hunchback game? Is it a new game? Unsure. All right. Over to your demos section, and we have been checking out this was Neon by Triad. Right here. You can view a sample if you like. If you go over to the website, take a look for yourself, or you can just learn more. probably do here is just do that, do a quick little search. By the way, I'm using Opera GX, which is a gamer's browser, right? I want to copy the address. Trying to take my info. How dare you? Gab Gibber, what is up? Head over to the CSDB. Thank you, Gab Gibber, that resub for 22 months. Welcome, thank you so much. I should have looked down here at my thing. I would have seen it. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good Friday night. It is 8-Bit Computer Club. And we've just been watching and enjoying this demo from the demo scene known as Neon. This is one that comes with the Commodore 64 cassette. You get yourself a Commodore 64 Ultimate. This was released in Datastorm 2017. This is one of my favorite things to do, dig a little deeper. Why did they make it? We'll find out here in a second. And also, what other demos have they done? Got some user comments. Let's see how they did at they take, oh, look at this. They took #1, first place for the Commodore 64 demo. In some other categories with the Commodore 64 4K intro, that's not 4K as in digital fidelity. That is 4K as in we're gonna do this thing in 4K worth of memory. Doing some stuff in the Commodore 64 music. Graphics, mixed graphics. Check out this. Check out the Commodore doing the lighted effects. Look at that. I'm enjoying that. We're gonna talk about the SID here in a minute too, because I got a couple of SID solutions to add some functionality to my Commodore 64 Ultimate. Datastorm, we are back. They do have a website. It is datastorm.party. And they're having a good time. Last time was updated was 2019 though. Oh no, looks like some Kickstarter font there. Some of our peoples. Here's our peeps. I just know if they haven't done anything since then. Was that around the time COVID hit us? It made things difficult. Just haven't kicked it back up. Unsure. Or is that just because it took us to the archive? Let's go to the news, the latest news. It's on, baby. Let's see if this is anything. Sun T. It doesn't say. All right, so maybe that's just sadly, another victim of COVID. But if you check out Triad. That's what we've been watching, Neon from Triad. There's your members. Right. Let's see. They've done some stuff since then. Look at that. They've done quite a few things since then. Oh man, they are quite active. Quite active indeed. Holy smokes. Alright. I got a wormhole to go down. Well, they've been doing some stuff over here though. Mixed graphics. What is this? Crack intro. Where are these places? Oh, get out of here, ads. That looks pretty cool. That just happened. It's Denmark. Nice. Nice. Sweaty mustache. I don't know what that's all about, but sign me up. Sign me up, baby. So what are we going to talk about tonight, y'all? What y'all want to talk about tonight, y'all? I know what I want to talk about. Let's oh, that's interesting. I guess I must have messed up my little deal there. Let me fix that real quick. Everybody's had a good week. It's been a fast one for me. Axel Nightshade, what is up, my friend? How goes the assembly? I have something to show you guys. Hold on a second. Let me get that. I just posted it to the Discord server. And let's see here. So in addition to my office of action, right? My action that I got going in the office of retro goodness, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. So I got all my stuff in here, right? I got my regular computer, I got my Commodore computer hooked up so I can do some programming in the office while I'm in the office. I've got an area for showing you guys stuff. I don't know how far I'm going to be able to do with actually doing functional things in this little station. I have a much more functional station behind me at another desk with a station and everything, but I thought just for giggles I might set up a more portable thing that maybe I could show on stream for some simple things. I will have to see how that works out. But we talk about we need more keyboards, right, Donda? We're going to talk about this. A couple of these. We got the Pine Seal and the Fantic USB-C type soldering irons. I want to call them the pencils, though. I know you can use the words interchangeably, but when they look like a pencil, when they're pencil shaped and you almost hold them like a pencil, I want to call it a pencil. I mean, an iron is the ones that I use, the big tips and stuff. In my opinion, that's just what I do. What do I know? Anyway, we're going to talk about that very shortly here. But I was going to show you guys. Hey, you guys. I'm going to show you my 8-bit cozy corner that I've been setting up in our bedroom. Is kind of an homage to my actual computer space when I was growing up. Got a string on my back. What? Oh my god, I got a string on my back. Yes, I think it's attached. Quick, let's get the soldering iron. Oh, I got it. All right. The Wraith, what is up, the Wraith? Zoe confirms, I also love doing stuff for the giggles. Axel says, doing great. Got moving sprites, but moved to using 64 TAS. Yeah. TAS. Oh, sorry, 64 TAS and Kate for the ease of programming. I'll probably do that myself once I get to a certain point as well. Actually, you're a little bit ahead of me, so that's great. But I bet you don't have to do bet you don't have a bunch of podcasts you get to do every week. Look at me getting all defensive. Axel's beating me. I don't like it. I'm only in competition with myself. No, I love it. I love it. That's great. I figure I'll probably have to do the same. I got so defensive, didn't I? I don't even know where that came from. It keeps me at a good pace, right? It does, Axel. I didn't even know I felt that way inside. What? How could I feel that way on the inside? All right, let's pop over to the Discord server. Oh, hello, friend. I'll pop over to the Discord server real quick. Modest Mike, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Question for the community and Modest Mike, who just showed up. We can kind of let Modest, we can let Mike tell us what he thinks since he is modest. What do you think about having? We could do anonymous follows and subs. I've thought about that. I don't know if people like hearing their names yelled out as they follow, or if that's just too much stress. It's like, ooh, I'd like to follow, but I think I'll wait until he gets off. Like, I don't want him to say my name. Say my name. All right, so let's take a look at this Discord server. This is the 8-Bit Computer Club server. Channel, excuse me. So this is like just one shot. Basic is not dead, right? Basic is not dead, yo. So this is just, a little corner. I got a banker's lamp. Before Tank Girl, hopefully will be here sometime tonight. We've got some plans and stuff we're working on as well. But this is here's a little quick video here of, let's see, can I maximize this without maximizing it? Or is this going to be maximized, right? Let's see if we can, maybe I should download this. So this is just a quick little look at my cozy little nook in the bedroom. Got the Atari 2600 over there. I did just test out. I don't know if you guys can see, but I was testing out the Virtual Boy right there. Is that considered 8-bit? I think it is, right? Maybe I'll just download this video and then we can show it in screen. What do you think about that? Well, I think that's a fine idea, Brian. Why is there no middle place? Why is there no, like, kind of make it larger and not full screen? Can I... It looks kind of chunky there. But there you go. There's a little better look. There's my Commodore 64. And Axel, that's what I was going to tell you. I was actually on that last night. I was on my VIC-20 last night, messing around with Hezmon. And that's a monitor, right? As the name implies. And I was messing around with changing border colors and that stuff. So Wiki says 32-bit the Wraith. Really? Really? Okay. Virtual Boy is 32-bit. All right. Then you're getting kicked off the 8-bit. Thank you, so. Looks like you're getting kicked off, man. Yeah, see, if you see that little red book right there, that's the Hezmon little manual. And then I busted out the Commodore VIC-20 Programmer's Guide and was trying to interpret some things. Like, there's a memory. You can do a memory dump. You know, like of a location, specific, like in the VIC-20, you can show that, but then when you key into it, it didn't function like I thought it was supposed to, but I'm still trying to figure that out. But I'll figure all of that out very soon. Axel says, great retro setup. Virtual Boy was quite a surprise when I used one. Oh yeah, really clear screen. Want to get Penultimate Plus cartridge for the VIC-20. Me too. Me too-zy. Captain Kipper have a small desk with my Commodore 64 stand, 1702 monitor, 1571, 1541-2, and the SD2 IEC on it. I have my other machine in an old stereo stand with the glass doors. Nice. Nice, Captain. Dan Anderson, what is up? What is going on, my friend? Welcome in, welcome in. Hope everybody's having a good Friday night. Welcome to the 8-Bit Computer Club, where we hang out and talk about 8-bit computers, but other computers too, as we disproved playing the Virtual Boy there. We've had a very exciting week. We're just listening to Neon, which was released on February 11th, 2017, and does come on the USB drive that you will get, the USB cassette that you get with your Commodore 64 Ultimate. You also can just head over to csdb.dk and look for their group ID, which is 132. They've been around for a while, still very active in the community. And the video was distributed with the Commodore 64 Ultimate. Yeah, from Icon and yeah, with permission from Icon and Triad. There you go. Love it. Ooh, they did some new in the firmware. I think they did some new things with how the keys function as well. You need to look that up. We are updated to the latest version, by the way. If you saw me on DTNS just recently talking about the Commodore 64 Ultimate with Tom, before when I talked about that, they had not released the 1.0, and so I got a couple of things that I was, complaining about that they took care of. System information. Let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. They kind of readjusted their software versioning, so now it's 1.1. So there you go, 1.10. They'll probably release some more. I have a guess they're probably going to release another firmware update for too much longer. It was kind of a long time between the last one and this one. Zoe says, takes me back to the 80s and the kind of setup friends had. Yes, that's right. Dana Anderson, and how is your Friday night going? Or Saturday? All right. Let's get to the topics that we're going to talk about tonight. Let me clear my throat. Kick it over here, baby. Pop. Tonda, do you have to sing like I do? Of course you do. Tonda Gassa is here. If you're not following Tonda Gassa, what are you doing with your life? Let's give a shout out to our good friend Tonda Gassa. You know why? I'm gonna I call him Tondagasa now. I used to call him Tondagosa all the time. Thanks to Scott. Interesting what Commodore have now said about the spiffy firmware. Yes, it is. So Axel is referring to believe to their recent stance on people using third-party firmwares on the Commodore 64. Essentially, they were saying they were thinking about locking down so that you could not use third-party firmware, but they have stepped back from that a little bit. And instead of locking it down, they've just said you've basically, as you would assume, have voided your warranty, right? You have voided your warranty. Take it your own risk. So that's what you would expect. It's like, oh, that's fine. You know, we're all adults here, obviously, messing around on 8-bit computers from the 80s. But yeah, so in 70s. But yeah, so yeah, I'm glad they walked it back, because I would prefer them to treat me like an adult. And then if if I screw it up, then I accept it as fine. Yeah, only physically, says the Wraith, right? So let's see here. I wanted to show you guys real quick. Captain Kipper posted a wonderful image. This is one of the things I love about the Computer Club. It's not all just about me. What is Brian doing? Me. It's about you as well. It's one reason why we always save the chats with these as well. And I want to show you guys what Captain just posted into the Discord server. This is December 1986, says Captain Kipper. My peak Commodore 64 setup. Sold this for the Atari ST a few months later. Look at that. Got your Commodore cover. Got your phone right there. Old rotary dial. Got a line there. I'm assuming back here is a modem of sorts, probably. Ooh, I see that. I see the joystick there. Yeah, 1541. The classic floppy disk storage. Yeah, this was peak, my friend. This is great. I see you got the old printer as well. And this is the one thing that I've been really wanting to get, which is a monitor. I'd love to have like a 1702. That just has not been on the docket. So I've got a bunch of CRTs and things, right? Did I post another picture of that CRT? I guess not. When I say CRT, it's just a TV, right? Got a little, I think it's an RCA, I think. It's fine. It's got wood grain on the side. You can't really see it there. It was mostly an aesthetic choice because I didn't really have a monitor appropriate for this yet. I'm gonna have to get to some shows and pick up something probably, because I've looked online. I've been a little hesitant to order something and have it delivered, especially since the shipping is so high. I really like the chance to kind of mess around with it and maybe transport it myself. Axel's nice copy of Elite. Yes. All right, Axel, don't come crying to us if you brick your own machine. I'm glad they have done that. Me too. That's fine, Axel, right? That's fine. I think that's the expectation, in my opinion. I think the fact that they don't void your warranty when you pop it open and do what I'm going to do very shortly this week. Thanks to you guys, I finally ordered a couple of SID solutions, right? I think this is the SIDKick Pro, I believe, which is just a Pico, and they've soldered. I got these off eBay, by the way. They soldered the pins on there. I wonder if it would be better if it was on the rear cam there, so you could see a little. Maybe that's a better shot there. Let's find out. Let's see if it'll focus in. Let me get towards the middle of the camera. Hey, camera, I'm right here. Come look at me. There you go. Up, boop. There it is. Nice little Pico chip there. Got your pins. Stackable, I'm assuming. I can stack these bad boys. But I also got the ARMSid. It's a little nicer package, right? Comes in its own little case here, right? Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And it's supposed to be the bomb, right? That's supposed to be the bomb. Now, this thing can take two, right, for stereo. It's got a virtual SID in it, but there's two SID slots here in the machine, and you can plug those in. I'm thinking about the reason why I ordered 2 different kinds. I wanted to test each one, and then once I make a decision, I will probably, I will, do that in stereo. I don't know if you can do 2 different types. That just sounds like it probably wouldn't work very well. But I'm also I wanted to get this one in because I thought about doing my own, because I got some of these laying around. There's some kits for the rest of it, so I'm thinking about using this one. It's kind of like I can take a look at it and do the little project and maybe use 2 and so on and so forth. But yeah, and nice. All right. Remember to upgrade the ARMSid can be Captain Kipper says, remember to upgrade the ARMSid can be configured and updated while in the Commodore. All right, in the C64. I was trying to say in the C caret string. I was like, what is the C caret string? But I'm glad you probably obviously holding down the shift key when typing that, right? Hilarious. I love it. Yeah, shift lock fail. It made me laugh. All right, so we've got that. I've got so much planned that I don't really know where to start. I need to do better planning. That's what I need to do. Somebody write that down. I need to slow down and start going. Wait, keyboard, have fun. Thank you, Captain Gibber. There's just too much 8-bit news and stuff coming out, and I'm so excited about all of it. But I've got to learn to pace myself, because I'm getting to the point that I'm having more projects started than completed, which is fine, but it's starting to be a little frustrating. And I just got this in. If life wasn't hard enough, Computes Gazette's magazine, the first one that I've gotten, this is the April 2026, and I just got this in. This is it. Do you remember how it used to be where you would be like, you'd send a check in you'd fill out a form and you send a check in to the magazine, and then 4 to 6 weeks later, usually 8 weeks later, you get your first magazine, like a crapshoot. You couldn't check. It's like if you couldn't check on anything. Matter of fact, you couldn't even check on the check. You'd be like, oh, did the company cash my check yet? You can't go online and look it up. You have to go to the bank and say, hey, did they cash that check yet? Or you had to wait for your end of the month statement. So it was just just mail orders in general, just sending that thing up. Well, the same thing, except I ordered this online, and then I waited patiently 6 to 8 weeks for my first issue to come. And so guess what? Basic is not dead, and neither is this Jolt Cola. I don't remember a purple Jolt. I definitely remember a red Jolt. But look at all these different basics. You got your Commodore, your TRS-80. You got your Atari Basic, Apple II, TI-99. Everybody all the biggies are represented, right, from the American market. And yeah, there's even a letter in here from Perifractic. And I look at this. And this is what I was most excited about, because this is what made me think about the projects I have running and haven't finished. How a Commodore 16 got its groove back. Now, if you've been following me for a while, the first project I started on was a Commodore 16, because I think there was a TED chip problem, and so I got to get back to that. But this really excited me, because I had the VIC-20, I had the Commodore 64, I have the Ultimate, and I just need to have that 16 working again. So I gotta focus and not get sidetracked any more than that. Hey, for retro computer users, that's us. But this is a current magazine you can get. You can get just the digital version if you like, or you can get. I don't get anything from this, by the way. The only thing I get from this is just sharing my love of 8-bit computers with you guys. Battleship, says Dr. Tolbert. Yeah. All right. Whew. All right. What's doing? Okay. So let's watch Warforge. What's up? What's going on? It is Friday night and we're having a blast. Mark Stevenson, what's up? C64 Ultimate coming soon. Coming soon. That's right. Did it say coming soon in the ad? Now I know that I'm curious what their next. I'm curious what their next phase is. Right. I'm curious what they're gonna do next. They gotta have some plans. I mean, once they have finished, distributing the, the primary amount of Commodore 64 Ultimates to the communities, what then? What then? Do you have a subscription service of some sort? Do you keep selling upgrades? What's the business model? Amiga Ultimate? Dude, they've talked about that. I don't know how realistic that is, though. The Amiga is a lot more... seems to be a lot more complicated. Cryptic, what is going on? Cryptic Skills, what's going on? How's your Friday, Saturday going? Oh, Mark Stevens, you pre-ordered the Amiga 1200? I am so jealous. Now, are you out of? Are you not in the? What part of the world What part of the world are you on? What part of the planet are you on? Because I'm in the U.S. and every time I try to pre-order an Amiga 1200, they say, "Well, go here for the U.S. thing," and I go, and it just redirects me to pick up. It just says, "Hey, you think you might want the Neo Geo?" It's like, no, I want the Amiga 1200 UK. Yeah. Cryptic Skill says Friday is going great, excellent. So, Mark, I am super jealous. I've been able to get everything from the Retro Company. What's their name called? They just called the Retro Group. What are they called? Retro Limited. Hold on a second. Let me take a look. I've gotten everything they've made up until this point with no problems until the Retro Games Limited is the name of the company. And I've had no problems getting anything up until this one. And so if you guys have a lead on how to get me here, let's do it. Brian just moved there. Oh, you got it at the Argo store. Okay, very good. Maybe I'll take a look to see if that's an option. I pre-ordered the Neo Geo and glad I did because it's sold. Oh no, it's sold out in Canada. Crypto Skills. Now I've been waiting, and now you got me anxious. What's the difference with the 64 Maxi and the Ultimate? Mark Stevenson, what's the difference with the 64 Maxi and the Ultimate? Oh, it's a pretty big deal. I have the 64 Maxi as well. The Ultimate is an FPGA system, so it is in hardware. It is at hardware emulation level, so it's pretty accurate. There's a lot of bells and whistles that go along with that, including the abilities to use real hardware, and because you can plug into it because it is FPGA and it's got that hardware accuracy, and the Maxi cannot. I do have the Maxi as well, and I enjoy it, but it's more like it's the Retro Games version of the Commodore 64. And I have all of the things. I have. Let me see. I don't think I've missed anything so far. I've got the Specky. Now I don't have every version of this thing, so I've just got the Spectrum. I don't have the special editions or black editions, but I do have the 400 Mini, the 500 Mini. I've got their Commodore 64 Mini and Maxi. I do not actually have the VIC-20, which is a Maxi. It's a full size with keyboard. But I do have the Mini and 64. So I guess I don't have everything. So I guess I'm missing the VIC-20. And if I was really get wild, I could, go for the black C64 Mini and the Specky, the special. But what I don't need. But this is what I really want anyway. The race says, doubt Argos will ship to the U.S. They can barely deliver to UK homes. Cryptic Skills says it's sold out in Canada, talking about the Neo Geo. Yeah, because Americans were buying it. Cost is $250 US, but only $289 Canadian. So cheaper after conversion. Oh, what a jerks! Oh, I hate cross market BS. Just come on, man. Axel Nightshade says a FPGA VIC-20 would be nice. If you're following the Commodore 64 Ultimate scene, there is a core. Is that what they call it? I believe it's called a. It's not called a core. What's it? Is it called a core? There is a VIC-20. You can run VIC-20 on the Commodore 64 Ultimate. I'll have to look it up. I started reading about it the other day. I didn't get fully into it, but I was curious about it, Axel. But you can run the VIC-20 inside the Commodore 6. But I would love just a dedicated device. I am down with that. Give me the VIC-20, the whole shebang. Cryptic Skill says you can still order it from the company. I might try to do that then. Mark Steve, oh, absolutely. So the Ultimate is the way to go. Well, it's according to what you're wanting to do. Now, like me and a lot of people in the 8-bit community, we're looking at, what's the word? Maximizing use of it, developing, rediscovering, going back and exploring things we might have missed. If you're really into that part of it, then I think absolutely the Ultimate is the way to go, especially if you have like old pieces of hardware that can attach to it, like a data set or some old floppies you have laying around. If you've got any real hardware but a Commodore 64 that's not functional, or maybe it's just a little finicky, then the Ultimate is the way to go. If you're just looking for a little nostalgia hit, and want to play some of the games, it's preloaded with the games, the Commodore 64 Mini, and you can load up more games. And that software emulation is usually good enough. I mean, you don't have to worry too much about cycle accuracy or anything like that, because most of it works just fine. But if you live in the US, you're not going to probably find the Commodore 64 Maxi. I had to order mine from the UK, but I like it. It was what I played with before the Ultimate came out. Monkey says, man, this makes me want to get a C64 again. Don't do this to me. But you'll be in the club. You could just, your club card is the picture of you standing there with your Commodore 64, man. If anyone from the UK is going to Nerdtacular, maybe they could bring an Amigo. Oh, that would be nice. Man, dude, that would make my day. Contact me. 8bitcomputerclub@gmail.com. Do it for Brian. That is right, man. If you were able to get me one of those, man, I'd reward you handsomely. Can you hit the game carousels on the Ultimate, Mark? I don't know if anyone's figured out a way to do that, but that is one nice thing about the Maxi and the Mini, is the game carousel is pretty cool, and you can choose to launch into the basic screen, or you can choose to just launch from the games. If you're mostly wanting to just play the games, I mean, I think if that's all you're really looking for, the Maxi's pretty nice. Axel says, waiting 20 minutes for a game to load on tape with a good coffee. See, that's the kind of stuff I like. I like it because it brings me back. Now, the Ultimate, you can do all kinds of tricks. You can, like, that's the other thing. If you're thinking about doing this kind of stuff, the Max will load up fast, and the Ultimate tries to emulate a real PAL system by default. And you can change, you can tweak some settings, and you also can get like Jiffy DOS, which we used to do a lot to make things run faster. And so you can get that and put it and load it up on here. You can still purchase Jiffy DOS. Zoe says, I would, but my case is full of Doctor Who scarves. Love it. Monkey says I had all of this back in the day. C64. A2000, A1200, donated all of it in 2000, and now I sob. Right? That's how it goes. Let's take a look. If I'm in the US and I'm interested in clicking on getting the A1200, right? Full size keyboard. This is stock. I would really love an FPGA version of the A1200. But yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out. This includes the workbench, classic games. Hey, we played that more than once. Love this, Beneath a Still Sky. That's a great game. Also load your own. Includes the mouse and keyboards. I mean, the mouse and gamepad, which I got with, I ordered along with my Mini when I did. And so I actually use it. with my, it's a USB, it's the old tank mouse, and I got this with my Amiga A500, as well as I ordered that controller that you saw on screen there just a second ago. Does it work with some applications on the Ultimate, because that USB support's is not completely they're working on it. Yeah, Axel, let's do an FPGA AGA 1200. I'm with you on that. Let's do it. The Ray says A2000 was too much for me. I'm assuming you're talking about financially, right? Financially. But if I did a pre-order, said, hey man, hook me up, would you? So look here. All right, so are you in the right place? United States, right? So that's what I do, because that's where I'm at. Click on that, shop now. Temporary tax issue in some states takes me right over to, I don't know how to even say that, replay.us. And as you can tell, this is the people who have been really pushing. There you go, replay. I don't know how to say words. Words. As you can tell, they're almost exclusively focused in on this Neo Geo AES Plus. And I don't see anything when I go to their shop. So why even take me here is really the question. Why would you even do this? Limited games, poopy head. Why would you even, like I say, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. Nothing, baby. You got nothing for me. Now, see if I go here, though, what does that do? Page not found. That's right, because I did do this the other day. Page not found. Use a VPN to UK site. I thought about that, or I could just lie, right? I mean, it asked me where I want to go. I could just say, hey, man, I'm in the UK. Come on. As you can see, if you click on that, it takes you to a page not found on their website. How about anything else they sell? I mean, like, oh, they got the VIC-20. So we actually were looking at this. So do they even have the VIC-20? No, they have completely just dumped everything, and are just, yeah, you just look at that. Like, this is Atari. You can get this off Atari's website. I don't know if they were just a third-party seller or what, but you can tell they've pretty much shifted completely. And maybe I should contact Retro Games Limited and just say, hey, yo, what's my options? And maybe they'll be kind enough to go, hey, don't worry about it, brother. We got you covered. Let's make sure. I mean, I didn't, it was auto select to say place. Okay, that's one to make sure. Make sure there wasn't some kind of weird thing, right? So let's say if I'm in the United Kingdom. Let me say I'm in the UK, baby. Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that. It's cheaper too. Is that the price just dropped $20? I think it did. And then I pre-order now. Let's go ahead and order this bad boy. And whenever I put in my mailing address, it probably just, that's when it's going to go, hey, get out of here. Get out of here. I am curious. What if I just put in the shipping address? What if I didn't put anything else? What if I just put in your shipping address available? What if I just put in, how fast would that, let's just see how fast that will almost everything else. No, it says the shipping is free though, with just the zip code. Cool. Don't show online, right? 28 in tax, right? That's right. That's how that happens. Yeah, Caps. Crypto says pre-order the Neo Geo on stream. Do it. Tanya says I could tell you're from the UK with that accent. Yeah, don't show online. That's right. That's right. All right. There we go. All right. Whatever. There we go. What you gonna do? Whine about it. So that's what we're planning on doing. I don't think we'll get to putting in the SIDs, but I just will let you guys know that when we come back next week, I should have these installed and maybe we'll test. Unless you guys would like to see me, I can always install them, play around, take them out, put them back in, show you, and that sort of stuff. If you're into that kind of thing, right? And are you in that kind of thing? I think you kind of are. Welcome in, Buzzcat. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good Friday, Saturday, wherever in the world you are. Let's take a look real quick. I'm going to show you overhead. I should turn off that light there, and we'll shoot us upside down, and there we are. Yeah, okay, so this is my temporary workspace. And I was just curious to see if I could do this. We may start a demo, and I may do this while we do the demo. But essentially, we've been looking at this TI 99 keyboard. It is a membrane keyboard, and we were able to unscrew all the screws. But there is some wires here that are soldered that will keep me from pulling this off, right? So we'll need to desolder that. And this is one, but this kind of prompted me to do something outside of my comfort zone. I have a soldering station that I do not have cameras at, and you know, it's a good soldering station, and I'm used to it, and I'm comfortable with it. And but here I thought, well, what if I ordered a couple of little small, you know, USB powered, for just little small things. This one is a one. Fantic does not sponsor the show. It's just something that I like their style, and most of the things I've had has been functional. However, I don't use them a ton. These are mostly things I use when I'm doing stream stuff, and it just looks fine, and I don't use a lot. The other stuff I have is more, you know, just everyday use, a little more. So, you know, if you're just doing a few things here and there, I've had no trouble with Fantic. I cannot give a deep review, but this is one of their soldering irons, and you can plug it in and keep it plugged in, or you can use the battery, which is quite the trick, because this thing will do, where does that start at? Can you kind of, there it is. So it starts at, what is that, 390 Fahrenheit and goes up to 840. I usually stay somewhere between 660 myself. I don't usually go to 750, but most of the, you know, PCB type stuff I'm doing, I usually will stay around 660. Sometimes I'll start at 570 if I feel like there's a bunch of things close by that I could accidentally heat up too much, but not typically. Typically I will go 660 or something like that. Yeah, and I'm unsure how long it goes, but I am interested in finding out. And you just hold this down and it will warm up. That means that little red light means it is warming up. Oh, and I think I just set it to what? I just set the lowest setting because I was farting around with it. What did I say? 660? There it is, right? Is that the right one? I think it is. Oh, look, already look. It is ready to go. How do I know? Let me see. How do I know that it's that hot? We got our little sponge here. Oh yeah, that feels like about 650. But that's quick, right? Look at that, already heated up to 660. Comes with some nice little tips. Has a light on the end of it, which is one thing I like. All their screwdrivers and stuff has this as well. And so I should be able to just pop in there. It's got a nice little stand, so I can put it out of the way without burning myself. It's got little moist sponge here, right? This is stuff I usually keep around. I got tip tinning, little container there. I've got some chip wick I usually use. That's for, you know, you got to use the chip quick, right? Come on. Well, I like this one anyway. This is the liquid flux. I got some paste as well, but I got a desoldering wick. I got some solder already with some flux inside, right? FluxNet Rosen core solder. That's what it says. All right. This is what I had on hand, and then I got my little sucker. This the actually comes with a solder sucker. This particular set does. You suck the solder right off there. Another thing we were looking at too. This has nothing to do with Fantic, but this has to do with the keyboard. This is a trace. You can kind of write in or touch up traces. This carbon conductive pen. So we think maybe some of the problems we're having with this keyboard has to do with that. Maybe some membrane keyboard, maybe a couple little surface broken lines there. Oh, hi before tank girl. Don't melt the keycaps. Right? Yeah, that's an iron, right? That's what it is. Yeah. Mark Stevens said, that's an iron myth. Fast, right? Yeah, instead of Brian sponsors Fantic, right? Wraith, yeah. I don't mean to. It's certainly not intentional. But I didn't want to just have one vector of comparison when I did this. So this was the most popular USB one I could find. What the crap is this? Oh, this is the Pine 64. Let me see if I can get on the rear cam on this. So this is the Pine 64, and it's got a digital display on it. Now it has no battery at all from what I understand, but it does have 2 ways to plug it in. And it doesn't come, I don't think, did it even come with a cable? I can't remember, but the one I've been using, I just have a USB-C. Where's it at here? There it is. Got a little USB-C. This one has to stay plugged in. Got a little digital reading there, you know. It heats up pretty fast too. Very small, compact. Let me get in the center of the, oh, my hand in the way? Yeah, that's the problem. All right. A little small. It's come to, I don't think, did it even come with other tips? I think you can purchase other tips, but it was a lot cheaper too. What you gonna do? What's between the base 64 or your 1 RGB? Mark says, I can't recall if it comes with a cable, but if I remember correctly, they do offer cables that have a silicone exterior for heat resistance, says Monkey. Okay, is this one that you have, Monkey? What's between the Beige 64 on or your 1 RGB? Oh, I don't know. What do I have? What do I have? Did I miss it? What do I have? I mean, I got my other keyboard down here, right? I got my computer keyboard. Oh, yeah, you got that. Now you just need to use it, right? Now, I also have a fan back here, too. This little carbon filter fan. Kato, I usually keep this on my main workbench. Let's see. I was curious to see if it would make... You know, my microphone completely gets rid of that. Let's turn the filter off. You probably can hear it pretty well. It's not super... For a fan this size, this running a carbon filter, I think it does all right. Vortex says you can hear it. Probably so, like when I'm talking, probably. But when I stop talking, nothing. Now, if I turn the filter off, oh, I got the Mark. I got the RGB 64 Ultimate. Yeah. There's a beige one and there's also a gold one. You guys probably hear that now. Vortex Girl says, just hear the ghost now. So I'm not 100% sure if I want to do soldering while we're doing our show, because I will tell you, I like to concentrate when I'm soldering. And when you're doing a stream and talking to 35 people and answering questions, it can be daunting. Right? So, but I think I'm gonna try it though. I think I'm gonna turn this on a demo and I'm gonna just see if I can desolder it. Topper says, swears. Graftark says, do it anyway. What's that built-in drive A? Before Tinker says juggling the soldering irons for your entertainment, right? Oh, tips! Oh, tips! Warforged, you don't want backseat starters? Come on, Warforged, of course not. Tonda says, don't worry, we're here silently judging you. Ow, ow, ow! So yeah, there's a built-in. So yeah, they've got on the Ultimate, they've got all of the they got several options. You got your A drives, 1541. You can actually change the 1541 to a 15. There's a couple of different ones you can do. So yeah, you can change it to a 1571, a 1581. Do all kinds of stuff. Let's all solder. Let's do it. Built-in drive A on just go. Yeah. So that's the reason why that's what that is. So you got a built-in drive. You can also add some virtual kind of drives and things, but this is all built. This is, I guess it's still virtual, but you got a software IEC and you got a different printer. I mean, you got all these different hardware things that are kind of built into the system. And you don't see them because it's FPGA. That's the trick. So FPGA is able to hardware emulate itself as many different processor and sound types, and it can do a bunch of things through programming. So someone will program the FPGA to be able to cycle accurate and pin accurate hardware. Solder party, says Graph-Dark. I got a Pi Zero that I need to desolder due to accidents. Whoopsie. All right, so let's find our next demo, and then I will see if I have the nerve, the unlitigated gall to solder while streaming. It's gonna be a trick. Let me turn the filter back on so you guys don't hear that fan as much. Yes, I'm also gonna look at. We're gonna look at the Sprite. We're gonna look at the Sprite Magic here very shortly too, if I don't burn my typing hand. Web Sprite. I gotta look at the website Sprite Mate for Sprite design. Really good for that. I'm gonna look at that also. I'm gonna pull that up, and we'll look at that very shortly. Axel. So Sprite Mate. Sprite Mate, the Commodore 64 Sprite Editor by Oh, okay. Have I seen this? Maybe have you guys shared this? This looks pretty cool. We'll come back to this in a second, but just know that we've got Sprite Mate to look forward to as well. All right. Let's go back to the demos, and we're going to take a look at another demo. We went down to Neon. What is this? 9. Old Men and Used Cars. That one sounds fun. Wonder, Raster Split Fund, Seal of Snapshot, Soiled Legacy, Soul on Fire. That's at least a 2-discer. That's a 1-discer. Nightfall. That's a 1-discer. Oh, here we go. Next Level. We've seen this one before. Next Level was released on June the 3rd, 2023. Performers was founded in September 2016. Their group ID is 8937. So I think we'll do this one. Trivia. The QR code takes a user to Rob Hubbard's wiki page. Very good. There's a QR code. I don't know. I thought we've seen some. We're going to have to go back and see which ones we've actually used and have not used. Let's crank this up a little bit. I'm going to get my soldering iron turned back on. We're going to rock out. Forte Girl says I tried that lemonade. We're going to look at the lemonade game too. We're gonna look at the lemonade game too. I'm loving this, by the way. This is a trip. This is a ride. I love it. Oh man! All right. I don't think I've seen this one. This is pretty cool. Size matters. This is like a chicken tube. Chicken tube! Max says, this is an awesome demo, one of the best. Cryptic says, holy crap, I'm being bombed. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Yeah. Give it to me, Commodore 64 Ultimate. Let's do it. Let me see if, is that tip hot? It's hot. Oh my gosh. Do 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 do. Dude. What have you unleashed? I really need to put on my nerd glasses. All right, I got to put on my nerd glasses. If I'm going to be soldering, I got to put on nerd glasses. Hold on a second. Because I can't see. I'm blind. This is awesome, by the way. I love it. Music. Don't mind if I do. Where am I? Nerd glasses, nerd glasses. What's that nerd doing? He's seeing is what he's doing. A little flux on there. A little flux capacitor. Tin my tip. This little Aeon flux. She's a green. Gonna tin my tip a little bit. Tip tinning. Am I supposed to flip the disc? Am I missing the flip disc yet? Feels like I should be flipping the disc by now. Yeah, disc time. I need like an alert that says time to flip the disc, Brian. There we go. I was able to. I couldn't quite reach comfortably my mat, so I kind of had to do it in my lap. But luckily, you know, get the PCB kind of there, so I was able to foolishly, but I was able to suck the solder off of it. I should be able to lift the leads up now. Should be just to heat that up a little bit and then lift the leads up. Dude, I love this. What is this? I need to name all of these games. I want to play all of these games. Oh, I know. That's Maniac. The Maniac Dimensions. Oh, man. Dude. This is like the greatest hits here, baby. Monkey says I can never complete Pitfall Marble Madness. I think we should try to play every one of these. There's some BC, right? It's never too late to have a happy childhood. Oh man, I haven't seen Pirates in forever. Oh, look at that. Was the one, the Pitfall one, was it? What was that one? Oh, you played that BC game the other day, Tonda? We need to have a Commodore 64 request Friday or something. Sponsored and hosted by Tonda, who's so much better at that than I am. Oh, yes. Oh, look at this. This is introducing me to so many games I haven't seen before. Remember all the maze games? She didn't even like men. Oh, what is that? Ah, some bubble. Oh, time to make me some burgers. Monkey says, I have a game to suggest. It's terrible graphics, not much for sound, but dear God, is it fun. 2-player only. Was it Cauldron Wraith? Ah, here we go. There's my favorite Gorfy. What was that? Spy Hunter. Oh no, some camel time. Man, there's so many games I do not know. So many I do know, but so many I don't know. That's a hot mess. Mutant camels, baby.
Another visitor.
Ah, stay a while.
Stay a while. Stay forever.
Oh, some GOS. Got pics. You were right. This is a pretty hot demo. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You'll see us in the pics folder, baby. Shake your boom base, says warp forwards, but then it gets blocked. Oh, did we allow it? There we go. It got through there, right? Or did you take it back? Monkey says, good thing my wallet has no money or I would probably buy the C64 with RGB. You got to. What choice would you have? What choice would you have? Bobby. Ooh, I like that effect. 98 times. Yeah, Axel says this is why you need a real SID. The samples on the Ultimate are not the best. Well, we got those SIDs, baby. We're gonna try them out. We're gonna test that next week, sure enough. Hopefully in stereo. Mike says, do not make me go more broke. More broke. Welcome. Come into the broke. Everybody needs to be broke. Love those shading effects. Yeah, 8-bit ray traces, Ray. Yeah, that's a pretty darn good demo. Triangulate. You've been triangulated. Yeah, this is pretty nice work, man. Love it. I have like 6,000,001 pairs of tweezers. Why can't I find any? Every time I get something new, they send me tweezers. How come I can't locate any? I like this little smoky vibe. Mark Stevenson says, you got me buying one of these darn Ultimate 64s. Why would you do this to me? Everybody needs one. Come on. Join the Blinky Light Club. I know there's got to be, in this box, there's got to be some tweezers in one of these boxes. Yeah, that's one of the coolest parts, being able to use all the original hardware tools and stuff with it. Some of the things I love. Ah, here are the tweezers. I knew Fantic could send me some more tweezers. I'll tell you, for the price, this little Fantic box is... just for light use. I can't say about heavy use, because I have... most of the stuff I get from Fantic is, you know, like just portable stuff. So I guess maybe that's what its intention is anyway. Maybe, and I don't know. Maybe they're... I don't use them enough to see how solid they are long term. But I may be doing that soon. Oh, they're breaking it down, breaking it down. Dr. Toba says, don't tweeze me, bro. Oh. Oh, look at that. That is cool. Oh, God, I love that. Deliver a 4th disc side. Oh, my God, I love that work. That is of the hotness. All right, let's get this last one running here. Mount that disc. All right, we got some tweezers coming out now. What's this? That's the official. Well, that's really short. I guess this is for charging though, right? Oh, like a little deer. Tweeze me. It tweeze me. Also, they sent me all these sponges. Sponges aplenty. I need to clean my deal. Well, we may just be able to finish this before the next ad starts. And then we'll talk a little bit. Did you get the beige color one, Mark Stevenson? That's awesome. I actually think about ordering a second one and just getting the beige one. Because nostalgia. Nostalgia. Look at that. He's carrying a floppy disk. Floppy disk. That's right, Monkey. You gotta keep that tip clean. You gotta be keeping the tip clean, baby. Game over. DJ 8-bit up here. Waka waka wa. X 2023. We've read about the X before. This must have been a great meetup. Johans composed this song. Rip. Oh no. Oh, look at that. Full screen scrolling. No USP. Oh yeah, dude, the 64 is solid. I've had no trouble with my Commodore 64. Now, some people have had some trouble in shipping, but who knows how much of that. I mean, there's always a risk with shipping. I got lucky, is what I think. No, I didn't. I ordered mine early. But mine arrived well. I had no complaints, but I do know there are complaints out there. Keyboard flex. Oh, really, Axel, is that recent since the firmware update, or has that been long term? I've had no trouble with my Wi-Fi, but I'm sure the support for all different routers and such is probably not, you know, as robust. All right, so this is some of the crap that came. This is the Fantic box. It's the next T1 Max. I'll put links to this later in the chat room. But quick heating. Comes nice little packaging. That's the other thing I like about Fantic. They give you the good packaging, right? Nice little individualized boxes and stuff. Makes you feel fancy. Whatever. God, Fantic needs to freaking give me some money for freaking shilling their stuff. Or at least send me some free crap. Nah, then I would feel all obligated to give my fake opinion. I like giving my real opinion. Yes, that's right, Mark. You can connect tape recorder and the original stuff to the 64 Ultimate. Correct. There's ports on the back side of this for just that. Let's see if we can do this without destroying everything here. But in addition to your USB connections and things, you'll see you got your old ports there, including some, you can get your old video there, right? You got your user ports, you got your old video. Data, you got your card slots. You can put real cards in there. Those are the real deals. Yep, old Commodore tape players are rock solid. They really are. I've got several. A few I got to work on. All right, while we were watching that demo, like I said, I was able to suck that solder ball off of there, right? So it's being held on there by just a little bit of, well, it didn't suck off, but I wasn't applying no upward force to disconnect those cables. That's why I was looking for tweezers. So I found some tweezers, and that That was in the box. Just about anything you order is gonna have freaking tweezers in it. I don't know who Big Tweez is, but man, he's worked his way into everything. Ron, what is going on? Yes, can you stick any USB stick in the computer? Yes, you can. Now it's got to be formatted properly for the system, which I think is just regular old FAT32 or whatever. I'm not sure exactly which formats are supported, but it's common formats. And now you can use a USB-C mouse or USB mouse with it as well. Before you could not do that. It was just for data transfer. But they since fixed that. You can also set up FTP. That's right. And Mark, you as well as there's CommoServe. So there's some software you can use just over the internet. And we'll look at that real quick as well. BBSs, so access those. Ron, thank you for that resub this very minute. Thank you very much. Looking at a couple of these soldering irons. I wonder if I should try. I'm gonna stick with what I got. The Ray says, just because you can stick in a USB stick in it does not mean you should. Yeah, we talked about that. I got a SAM disk, which is not a SanDisk. Or is it SAM? I forget what it's called. Something like that. We should not mention the Spiffy mod. That's right. Oh yes, it's wireless, Mark. Yeah, you can also use a network. So it's got you can plug in on a regular network, or you can plug it in, or you can do the Wi-Fi. It's quite capable. Samuel Discman 128. It's kind of hard for me to get in here. It would be better. I really need to be able to stand. Trying to get in a good position because I can't quite see from this distance, and I'm kind of leaning over oddly. And there's not enough lights. Let's really brighten this up some there. I've got some things to do on my setup, all right? This is very haphazard. Probably should just cut the line, right? Just cut it. To lift it up a little bit. Really need one of my picks over here. There we go. Get below it a little bit there. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but trust me, I'm doing it. We're about to run into an ad here in a second. There we go. Pop right up. Maybe I should go to the top side. Let's try doing the top. That's a good question. Any way to get the carousels on that? That's a really good question. I'm not sure. Someone may have done something like that. All right. Let's see if you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. Let's see. This is a little bit of experiment tonight, by the way. I'm holding the bad thing about that Fantic being like a pencil is I just want to hold it in my hand like a pencil while I do other things. And I am definitely going to burn myself. I'm definitely going to stab that right into my leg. Trying to chat it up and not focus. All right, this is our Instacam. This is a Mitsumi. Whoa, Puppy Kid Trout, what's up? Puppy Kid Trout says, remove your glasses, trust your instincts, use them for us, Lou Brian. All right, let's see. We did pull this one up. I used the desolder to pull the solder balls off of there. Solder balls! Does the computer get hot? Not at all, really. I mean, it's modern FPGA. So, I mean, it can get hot, I guess, but the board is so small, it'd be really hard to tell. We'll open it up next week, and I'll show you. Let's see, what's the... I'm doing this kind of out of my reach right now. There we go. All right. So I just applied a little heat to finish it off because I sucked most of the solder off there. But there you go. So we popped up the little leads here. I'm going to gently bend these back. I'm sure they're fragile as all get out, right? Avia, what's up? The race wants, how old is this keyboard? Is it using leaded solder? That's probably, I would not doubt it. Now, I do have a little fan back here sucking stuff away from me. It's not great, but it's doing, we're using very little. Yeah. So we, soldering while talking to 35 plus people. Hondo, what's up? I tried using a D. Snyder. Said he wasn't going to take it. Good old D. Snyder. Ad break has started up. So when the ad break comes on over on Twitch, we like to not leave those people out. So I just wanted to say hey to everybody who's watching those ads. Thank you for watching the ads. Don't worry, we won't leave you behind. We won't let you miss any of the great content we're making here on the 8-Bit Computer Club. Thank you for it, Tech Girl. I like my yeah, like my goggles. Yeah, this way I can see. The better to see you with, good sir. Matter of fact, I can't see nothing without. Oh, what is going? What? Look at the world. But yeah, it gets the job done. It gets the job done. So you really get in there. Mark says, I wonder with the Amiga 1200, could you use the install disk on it to install on a hard drive? Oh, that's a good question. I think it definitely runs with the Workbench and stuff, right? I don't know how it virtualized the rest of it. Aiden definitely should get one of these for painting. Don't be embarrassed about looking like a nerd. You won't have to do it on stream. Just me. That's right, they can't hear that, Wraith. But we'll be back in just a minute and 23 seconds for those watching the ads right now. Thank you for that. All support helps, whether or not you're you subscribe through Twitch or you subscribe through YouTube, or if you're a patron supporter. Any way that you support, watching the ads, that helps too. And yeah, any way you want to support. Just hanging out, just being part of the community is also a support. Ray says, my stream just buffered. Oh no! Talbert says I have one of those that I wear in the office. That's great. Let me take a look at that mole. Thank you, Mark Stevenson. Thanks so much. Thank you so much. Yep. Let me get a little closer look at that mole. Oh my god. What's wrong with your mole? Muggy says, I can't afford the 64, but the SID Blaster USB Nano looks promising. Oh, what is that? I'm not familiar with that one. Avian says, huh, look, Harold Ramis looked awesome wearing that. He did. Harold Ramis did. He could pull it off. Yeah, Monk, you need some good sound, right? Nuka, what is up? Mark Stevens says, or a zit. You can see anything with this thing. Oh, the CM. Okay, let me take a look at that. I'll pull that up as well. Pull that up as well, because we're gonna hop back on the Sprite train here in a minute, because we're gonna look at the Sprite Magic real quick, and then I want to wrap the show up in just a little bit with my game idea that I have. I've been prototyping it. Well, I haven't been prototyping it. I'm about to prototype it. I've been thinking about it. All right. Everybody's back now. Welcome back in. Hope you enjoyed that ad. Thank you for the support by watching ads. All right. So we were able to... All right, we were able to pull... Turn it around, turn it around. There it is. All right, was able to pull this out. All right, so now we've taken all the mini small screws out of there, right? We did all those, and now we just need to see if we can lift it up because we desoldered the only thing that seemed to really be holding it in, these couple of clips here. This is a membrane keyboard on the back of a TI-99. Let's back up just a little bit here. Every week gets a little bit better, right? Nuka says, so I had my C64 Ultimate running for about 25 minutes after the initial update and the whole thing died. Have to send it back. Oh no, that sucks. Keep us up to date on that. I would like to know more. I'd like to know more. All right, so looks like it lifted right off. Looks like most of the tension on this was on this side, right? That was the side that was actually keeping it in, and what that is, looks like it's the back of the board right here, which is underneath the lock key. Okay, I was just making sure. I was slowly turning it over because some of these keyboards, the only thing keeping anything in is there we go. All right, yeah, I was just making sure. I was making sure there were not components. That would have been hilarious. That would have been the kind of hilarity that I would be here for. All right. Yeah, but Nukem, that sucks. I hate. Which one did you order? All right, this is a Mitsumi keyboard, and here on this side here is the membrane. Okay, it looks. Does it look kind of puffy, right? So these make contact, right? Probably should be wearing gloves with this. Putting my stupid hand oil on this thing is probably not the smartest idea, but you know, what you gonna do? Now, I've seen some people mess around with these, and we could peel this off, but there's an adhesive on the back side, right? So I'm probably gonna have to do that at some point. But when I see people doing that, I've seen them having to redraw these lines or find some kind of solution there. These pins right here, that's the ribbon cable around the back side, right? And I'm not seeing nothing that's like visually quick to like go, oh my god, look at that, like, oh god, somebody dropped some soda in there and now it is, nothing like that. Perhaps put some medical disposal gloves on throne for yourself, Brian says. Yeah, Axel says, splitting the membrane, the video he rips a bit, right? Yeah, we gotta. So I figure maybe if I wanted to see, if did it dry out some, or I'm gonna kind of inspect this a little bit more. I'm probably gonna put a little bit of heat on it, like not direct heat, but slowly warm it up. That way enough, hopefully, to allow me to pull the plastic part up, possibly. But I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm probably going to put this under the electronic microscope and just see if I can see anything visually on that side. And I will do that, and then we'll either take a closer look next week, or I will record some video and we'll take a look at it. But I have seen several people do this before. I just got to look for the brakes. Those are the brakes. We have a couple of solutions. I've seen some people say they use something similar to this. And this is just a conductive pin, so you can just shake this bad boy up and draw the connections. Just draw them. So we'll just see if that happens. Before Tango says visible damage. Axel says it's sticky and old and needs to be pried apart a bit like real life. Axel says. So what are we looking for there, Brian says Avian. Yeah, so we're just looking for, so essentially the keyboard on this TI-99, common failure point for these guys is this membrane keyboard. And different people have different theories about where it's failing and what's causing it to fail. I've seen some people with some other solutions on how to replace these more long term, but I mean, it's not something visual to the naked eye, as far as I can tell. But that's fine. We'll dig into it a little deeper, get a little close look at it. I might put a paper towel on it and use an iron to flatten it. That's what I was kind of thinking, something like that, Warforge. I have a heat pad that I may use with that, but put something between it so that it doesn't. What I don't want to do is overheat that plastic, right? And then to like curl up and stuff. So you don't want that. That's definitely not something you want to do. So I want to keep this as flat as possible because I got to reapply it at some point, right? Yeah, then use the microscope to view the connections. Right. What's up, Retro? Raid, yeah, Raid to Dodo. Retro, got to look at Retro Dodo, just gave us a raid. Welcome in. We were just talking tech stuff. Hope you're having a good Friday, Saturday, wherever in the world you are. Welcome in, Retro Dodo. Let me get this back to normal screen. Normal screenus. And, oh, look, I got my nerd glasses on. You're welcome. We were doing some 8-Bit Computer Club repair work. Did our first lightest amount of soldering you can imagine on stream. I did some of it while you guys could watch, but some of it I had to do off screen because I just couldn't quite reach where I needed to be, but I'm gonna figure it out. Warforge says I wouldn't pull it up, I'd be worried it would crack. That's what I'm thinking too. I'm very nervous about pulling it up, but we're gonna see. Yeah, live soldering, hot nerd action. Teto Moo, what is going on? How is your Friday, Saturday, wherever in the world you are? Let's give a shout out to the Raiders. Welcome in. Oh, hi, everybody. I'm Brian Dunaway, and this is the 8-Bit Computer Club, and we do this Friday nights at 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where we get together and talk about our love for 8-bit computers. We talk about repairs, we talk about programming, we talk about nostalgia, we talk about the scene, the demo scene. We're listening to some demo music right now, as actually speak. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Thank you so much. Teto, is it Teta Moo? Is it Ta? I'm in. Do it. Thank you so much. Welcome in. And thank you to Retro Dodo for that raid. And if you're not following Retro Dodo, what you doing with your life? Come on. Let's give a shout out to Retro Dodo. Tato Moo. Ooh, I like it. Tato Moo. Ooh, Tato Moo. I like it. Perfect. Retro Dodo. Did I spell it right? Thank you. We love it around here. Retro Dodo, nice channel. Yeah. We enjoy doing this. On TMS, Workforce says you should say bye-bye, butt kisser. And then TMS is the morning stream I do with Scott Johnson and Brian Ibbett. I show up and we do, I usually do a thing called Morning Half-Asses, where me and one of the co-hosts go head-to-head on some trivia. And then there's also one called Tapuli Feud. That's kind of like the Family Feud, but it's all related to us nerds. Oh, you played Chess Master 2000 on the Atari. Dude, I got to get to that one. I haven't played any chess games in forever, and Chess Master is a classic. Tato Moo says we're French, so his channel is in French about the Atari ST mainly. Nice. I need to get an Atari ST. I have an Atari 800, as well as the real hardware. Then I have Atari 400 Mini that retro. What's it called? I always forget what they call it. Retro Company Limited. But if you guys, I don't know if you guys have an Atari magazine currently, but I know that a lot of times we get some Atari love in the Computes Gazette. That rebooted Computes Gazette was mostly focused on Commodore 64 back in the day. Compute was focused on all of them, but Computes Gazette specifically. But if you haven't heard, BASIC is not dead. Battle Chess, says Axel. Yeah, because I can't play chess. Forte Girl says, I'm kind of French way back in the lineage, and you're living in a very Frenchy neighborhood now, right? Oh, Retro Dodo says the ST computer range is famous in France. I did not know that. We do have a good bit of French connection in our community, so that's awesome. I'm glad you dropped in. Thank you for bringing your community with you, and thank you for coming to hang out. And be sure, like I said, everybody, head over to Retro Dodo and give a follow and check it out. I want some more Atari ST action. I'll have to go back and check out the VOD. Amstrad CPC as well. Yep. Good old Amstrad. I do have a Specky, the Spectrum, but it's not the real deal. I need to get one. We haven't watched this demo for a minute, haven't we? I didn't mean to do that, but this is the demo we've been watching from the demo scene. Comes with the Commodore 64. This one's the next level. Come out in June the 3rd, 2023. The group is Performers, and they were founded in 2016. So not so like some of the ones we've seen, like much older, but we can check out their action over on csdb.dk. So we're going to do just that. So that's the scene database, right? They got a bunch of stuff out there. The Commodore scene specifically, I believe, is what the CSDB stands for. And that DK, you know where that's at. The ID on this one, though. Let's see, group. We'll get this pulled up. So we like to give a shout out to these different groups. Man, we don't have anything like this where I'm at, and man, I would love to see this scene blow up here in the U.S., especially in my area. Performers is the name of the group. And let's see, they've got some all members there. Not as big as some of the groups we've seen so far, but still, this is one of the really cool demos. As a matter of fact, I think it was a disc 2 or 3, had all those shots of different games from back in the day. Love it. Retro Dodo says top of sound is available on Retro Dodo's channel. Very good. Ooh, I'll check that out. I have a working Orc Atmos. Ooh, Axel, really? That was big in France. Oh, I did not know that. Don't be a snowflake. Oh, look at that. Some vintage stuff in 2025. Next level. We were watching. Did we see Concerto? Oh, maybe we saw. Oh, because we've seen this group before then. So we actually watched their other demo last week. And this was called Next Level, right? I believe that's what it was. Yep, Next Level. And it took first place as a C64 demo at the X 2023 meetup. And this is a Commodore 64 only party, and they are still active. However, this archive is not, but we visited this before though. Netherlands, yes. Look at that. Mojo, we've actually watched that one. Wondered, oh man, that was a tough year because these are some really great demos. Do we see No Bounds yet? We've definitely seen Multiverse. Holy smokes. So many of the ones we've watched have been from this event. This must have been fire. That must have been fire. All right. What else we got here? Okay, so we have been talking about putting our SID in for next week. We're going to do that, but I would like to get, oh, you know what we need to do? We need to at least load up the Sprite Magic, right? So let's back out of this so I can change my USB out. Boop. Close that up. No, knock the tip off. Just the tip. Oh, is that the right one? It's got to be. Well, what was that one for? Well, where'd this one come from? What is this tip for? Oh, I got 2 tips. Was it just stacked on that before? Oh my gosh, is it multiple tips? I've just never noticed. Unsure. Now I feel like I'm hallucinating. Fort Taker says, I only know curse words in Cajun. My mom would have to switch to different curses once we learned them. Oh, I love that. That is great. Yeah, I'm not real familiar with the 8-bit scene in France, but I love learning about. I love learning about different regions and people with their 8-bit love. It's been a good learning experience for me. Of course, I live in the U.S., so Commodore 64 was ruling the world. And so, of course, Mark's back. Yes, Mark got to go order that beige, right? Got to order that beige Commodore 64 Ultimate. Keep us up to date on that, too. Let us know how that all works out for you. All right, we came back to our other... All right, so we got Sprite Magic as a program, and will it just let me run it, or do I have to load it? All right, let's run it. Let's see what happens. All right, oh, there we go. And I believe, okay, so it looks like maybe hitting some 0-page area. It looks like a Sprite. So I've done this before. I've just like turned on the hardware sprites. The Commodore 64 has 8 hardware sprites, and I believe by default it'll look at a certain memory location. So it looks like it's loading up just, you know, a random memory location, and putting whatever data, dumping whatever data is in there into the sprite table. This Sprite Magic was originally a not in this magazine, but in Compute's Gazette back during the 80s. You could type in Sprite Magic. They also, I believe, at that point in time were sending out the cassettes as well. So I guess you could have gotten that on the cassette as well. But you could definitely type this in, save it on your cassette or floppy, and you would have access to it. Moo says that tape-shaped USB key looks great, but must be unbalanced when you plug. You nailed it. That is absolutely, it's the worst. I usually keep that in. I usually just keep that one put in the case it came in, because I made a copy of it. And matter of fact, I suggested if you do get the Commodore 64 Ultimate and you get the cassette USB, I suggest the first thing you do is copy its contents to another USB that's not quite so unwieldy. Oh, the OS Ultimate is out now. Okay, interesting. Nice, Mark. Yeah, that thing is... yeah. Tato Moo, that is a fact with that cassette, man. That thing is unwieldy. Unwieldy. So what's your game going to be? We're going to talk about that just in a minute. That's a great one. We need to talk about that. So this is Sprite Magic. I believe you can just use, yeah, you can see the flashing gray field. You can move that around. I think, yep, if you hit spacebar, so you go to whatever chunk you'd want and you hit the spacebar, and it will toggle between white or black. Now that's gonna just give you a 2-color sprite, right? And I'm having to go through here and fill this out there. I'm gonna look through the instructions as well. I'm assuming that maybe I could pre-fill memory somewhere and point to memory that is just a white space, right, instead of doing all this. But essentially, if you've never made sprites on the Commodore 64, or sprites at all, let's talk about that for just a second. Yeah, this is, yeah, the high-res 2-color, correct, the Wraith. Yeah, low-res 4-color, right. So if you've never done this before, so this is a little book that I have. I picked this up off, I think, just Amazon or something. You know, picked it up. But yeah, so you can just get a sketch and design book here. So this is the 3rd edition, but look at that. Look, what is that? It's one of them there X-Wing fighters from the top down part. But anyway, so that little block we were looking at, so essentially it's made into a grid of 9. And if you look really close at the top here, you'll notice these are little numbers here, 128, and they count down. And essentially when you fill in these blocks in these little grids, right, you end up doing the math and adding up the numbers over here. So you got 3 little data blocks over there, right? You put these little numbers here, And what Sprite Magic is essentially doing is taking your sprite that you create in the application, and it will save it as data. So it does all the math for you, right? So instead of getting in here and drawing stuff out, which you can still do, and writing in all those data files and everything, writing the data's coded in, you can just do it using Sprite Magic, because it's magic. Do you believe in magic? Right, Ron? Way cool, man. Way cool. Math. How do you get sprites? Math. 255 up there, right? So, but there's some shortcut keys for that. We'll dig in deeper to that next week, because I'm going to make some sprites, because I actually have a game in mind now. So let's take a look real quick at what I am thinking. So I'm going to be prototyping over the coming months, but I'm also going to be coding in game mechanics in assembly on the Commodore 64. I was going to do a Pitfall game, Axel, but then I felt I just was dragging my feet because I wasn't very excited about the game itself. I was excited about writing the game, but I mean, I wasn't excited about the actual gameplay. So I was thinking, Mark Stevens has always wanted to do a Planet of the Apes game. Nice. So I was actually thinking, what was the most fun we've had recently with games, and like just us hanging out, what really is like a really just fun game loop that would just keep me engaged for hours. And it was that blackjack that we did the other week. So I was like, oh, okay, well, let me think about that. So I stuck a little pin in that. And then Scott mentioned lemonade stand, right? Okay, so let's take a look at that, actually, because I loaded that up. Let's see, lemonade. I hope this is the right one. Let's see what happens here. So this is a bit of a gambling game too, right? So this is an educational game, right? Oh, it's a classic. Yeah, we're talking about lemonade, baby. So student instructions. You're the student. You've decided to run a lemonade stand for 10 Saturdays this summer in order to make some money. But you soon find that running a stand costs money. Your job is to make as big a profit as you can. Your family agrees to stake you to $10 in order to get started. At the end of the summer, you will have to return the $10, but you'll not need to pay interest. So interest-free, baby. Certain information about the cost of components required for your lemonade will be displayed at the bottom of the screen. It is up to you to decide how much of each of these components you wish to buy, depending on the market outlook for the day. Mark says, is it easy to make a game on the Commodore 64? I believe this was written in BASIC, but I'm wanting to go beyond that. But I do like the moment-to-moment gameplay. Tweep says, my family is going to stake me, but I'm a vampire. By the way, this is originally, I believe, an Apple II game, and it was this is a Commodore 64 port. So I believe if you've seen an older one, it was probably just ASCII characters. I think this is all ASCII characters. I don't even know if it even uses any sprites. The screens at the library were green. Yeah, makes sense. Finally, don't always rely on the weather forecast. It comes from Environment Canada. In other words, don't trust the weatherman, and you know what that means. It would be wise to check the actual temperatures and then make any changes in your purchases based on that information. And to keep your prices low, you'll sell more lemonade, but you will make less money on each sale. On hot or humid days, you will sell more lemonade and also be able to charge more per cup, increasing demand for a product. When the wet bulb reading is close to the temperature, it is a humid day. All right, so let's begin lemonade. You can play this online in a browser. We've talked about this on the Discord channel over on the 8-Bit Computer Club Discord channel. I'm just going to put Bry. I don't feel like reading a whole bunch of stuff. That's me, Bry. You should operate your stand for 10 weeks. All right. So here we go. So as you can tell, it doesn't use sprites. It's using ASCII characters to create a nice little lemonade stand. You start out with $10. You have an area over here at the top with 3 components, 3 ingredients to create lemonade. Below that, you have the weather prediction for Saturday, right? We're in week number 1. Temperature in the 70s and low humidity. All right, so it'll start asking us how much we want to buy of each thing. Now, I can't remember exactly what the ingredients are. Like, oh, I need this many kilograms of sugar and this much lemon concentrate. I do know what cups are. Dude, no. Have you tried a Cinemaware game? I have tried a Cinemaware game. I actually thought you said, had I typed one in? I'm like, oh my God, no. But yes, I have played some Cinemaware games. I haven't done on the 64U though, but I've played plenty of them. Axel says this has to be a basic game. It's using Petsky graphics, right? 1 lemon per 80 sugars. Is that right? Are you messing with me right now? So I'm just gonna randomly pick stuff. So 1 sugar is $1.06 for a 5 kilo bag. How many bags do you want to buy? I'm assuming is twice as much sugar as it is to lemonade. That's how I would make it. And so 73 cents a liter. So let's just get 1. No, we got 10. So I need two. Math is hard. All right. How many cups? Well, we got to buy them in 100. So we're 98 cents. And so we're just going to buy 1. It's our first day. Let's mess it up. So we had a prediction beforehand, but now we're actually getting the temperature based on the products we already bought. So this is like gambling, right? So you got kind of a blind, right? You start buying your product with a kind of a loose idea of what the weather may be like. I guess we could go back at this point. So, but I'm hardcore, so let's know. We're just going to go for it, right? So I'm just going to say no. Price and cents for a cup of lemonade. All right. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to say, just because I've played this before, I know between 5 and 10 cents is probably going to be about as much as we're going to charge on a mild weather day. These are Fahrenheit temperatures, 76. Wet bulb is close. 76 means the humidity is high. Is that what it said? If the wet bulb is close to the temperature, then that. So let's just make it 5 cents. 5 cents, 100. So that should at least come close to breaking even, right? For 5 cents, sell 100 cups. Let's say we sold all of them. If that will fill all of it, I don't know. Let's find out. All right, so we're kicking it. The game is computing. Moo says, "Do you want some lemon in your cup of sugar, please, sir?" All right, so we're kicking it. Math seems to be mathing pretty good. We're about gonna break even probably. So we're gonna run out. I think we're gonna run out of cups before we run. No, I think lemon concentrate. We're gonna run out of lemon concentrate. Only had 2, so 2 liters of concentrate will fill 80 cups. We selling real good. So we made 80 sales at 5 cents a cup. You gross $4. All right. So we got pretty close back to where we was at. We still have some product in hand, so it's fine. It's fine. All right. Let's see here. So week number 2. So we're doing this on Saturdays. We got 10 weeks of Saturdays, right? We want to get on the positive side. Oh yeah, Mark says I bet Ghostbusters is awesome on U60. Yeah, we'll have to play some Ghostbusters. Warforged gave us some knowledge in the classic lemonade stand, Apple II, and code math game. The optimal strategy for maximum profit often involves a ratio of 8 lemons, 8 sugar, and 10 ice cubes per pitcher. That's right. So this one doesn't even concern itself with ice or nothing like that. Particularly on hot days, the key to winning is adjusting prices with a common starting recommendation of 35 cents per cup or higher, depending on high temperatures, which drive higher demand. So certainly this is it's a take on lemonade. What is the spectrum like the one you have? So I have, actually, I can get it real quick. So Retro Games Limited makes a full-size Specky with game carousel and everything. And I picked this up last year, or was it the year before? I think it was last year sometime. So this is pretty cool. Spectrum right here, right? And it comes with the game carousel, which we've talked about before. 35 crash smashes. But we'll have to get this back out at some point in time and play with it some more too. It's got a full-size functional keyboard. You can't argue with that. All right. Yep, the genuine rubber keyboard. Isn't that great? All right, so let's see. It looks like we had, okay, so we had 10 kilograms of sugar. So we bought 2 kilograms of sugar. And so, okay, so that we bought 2 liters of concentrate. So we should have just bought 1 and 2. So it should have been 1 bag of sugar for 2 concentrate. So we already have 1 here. So we just need to buy concentrate this time. So we won't buy, we'll buy 0 of this. No, wait, you know what? What we'll do is we'll buy 1, right, of that. And then we'll need to buy 4 bags of concentrate, right? Or 4 liters of concentrate, right? And we're definitely gonna need more cups. So do we want 200 cups? Do we have enough money for that? We do. Ooh, good. Look at this. We got a nice hot day, wet bulb, pretty humid. So let's see here. I believe it is the 128 Spectrum version, Mark. All right, so let's see. I could be wrong though. Don't quote me on that. I did not own a Specky growing up. How many cents are we going to charge? Do you want to change? No, we do not want to change any items. I think this is good. And so we're going to put no. And we went with 5 cents last time. Pretty hot day. You think we can go, what do you think? Do you think we can go 10 cent? Do you think we can go 15, 12 cent? Let's go 12 cents. 12 cents? Is that going to be, what do you think? Do you think we could get more? Dr. Tolbert's saying 25. Tolbert's saying, roll the dice, baby. Roll the dice. Mark says 20. Wherefore says 35. I'm going to split the difference and go with Dr. Tolbert. Let's go with Dr. Tolbert's at middle range. The Wraith is saying 42 because it's the answer to everything, right? All right, we seem to be doing, we cranking it pretty hard here. Look at this. We are already exceeding our starting seed money, our lemon seed money. We're killing it, right? Look at this. Doing pretty good. All right, maybe we should have charged more. Tonda says, I bet 1 cent. Poor Tankro says, now we can go to Vegas. Let's go to Vegas, baby. We got this. We're killing it. We are absolutely killing it, man. Look at what we are doing. Man, oh, the day ran out. The day ran out. We still have product, though. I wonder if does the product last forever? You made 102 sales at 25 cents. You could have grossed, if you had charged 20 cents. So, look at that. Mark said earlier, go 20 cents. It looks like 20 cent was the place to be. Dr. Tolbert, though, pretty good guessing. Yeah, that's a pretty thirsty neighborhood move. Yeah, absolutely. Warforce says, do me a favor. On the next hot day, do 1 cup and charge 100. Would this even let you do that? We're talking about cents, and you're talking about $100. Vortex says, dang old 80s money calculations. All right, that's pretty good. Warforce says, try it. All right, well, let's try again. Let's prediction for Saturday, temperatures in the 90s and average humidity is the prediction. Let's take a look here. So we still have 1 and 1, so that means we could do our 1 to 2 ratio again. So any 1 to 2 ratio is going to be fine. We have plenty of money. Let's go with Look, we got plenty of money though. $1. We have to go five there, right? Go 5 there. All right. And then, did lemon juice go down? Because that seems cheaper than normal. I think 95 cents is what it was before. And so I went, what did I just say? How many sugars did I do? I've already forgotten. How many sugars did I do? What did I do? Dadgummit. Axel says, AI says to win, then press run stop, and then M equals 9999, then continue. I bet it's wrong. All right. I bought 5. Okay, so I bought 5, so that means I need to buy 10 of these, and it's 75 cents. That's a pretty good deal in comparison. And then cups. How many cups we're gonna need? I probably the same amount as so maybe 5. So let's do that. And then, do you want to change any items? No. 98 and 94. Does it need to be over 100, you think, before we start charging the $100? This is Farking War. It says exactly 8 and a fourth sugars. You ain't even close to needing to cut back. Get on with your bad self, Daddy. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I should have done 4 lemons. Liz Lemons. All right, so what are we thinking this time? It's not as hot. I think okay, how many cents is 100? I know, right? 22 says Talbert. But we didn't do but come on, man, we did 25 last time, so we should do 20, and it was hotter. I'm gonna go 18. Tolbert says 10,000. Before Tank Girl says 60. Are you trying to break the computer? I'm gonna go with 18 cent. Just for percentages. Mark says 19. I'm going 18. I'm taking control. I'm taking back my lemonade stand. Mom and Dad are gonna be so proud. Gah! 18 going once, says Newcomb. Let's see how we do this time. I think we're doing all right. All right. Lemonade keeps getting older, and lemonade keeps getting older, and I keep getting more thirsty. You're Ford. Yeah, that's right. All right, we're doing pretty good. We're doing all right, right? Let's see how the game's going to be rate us. $420.69 because they're the funny numbers. Oh, 420.69 tweet. Get it. I got it. Okay, so you made 129 sales, 18 cents a cup. You grossed 23.22. Let's see how it criticizes me for what I should have done. You could have grossed if you had charged 16 cents. I went too high, but that's okay. We're still doing all right. Prediction for temperatures, average humidity. Yeah, we still have supply. I'm not going to buy anything right now. Can I just hit enter? Do I have to hit 0? You do have to hit 0. 69 cents a liter. That's still pretty good. I don't want to confuse myself. I don't want to buy any bags. Those are actually pretty good prices. So let's see. 78 and 73. I'm going to charge 12 cents. What do you think about 12 cents? Is that going to make any sense to anybody? Talbert says 12 cents as well. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking too. Percentages. Let's see if we can turn some profit here. The temperature bulb. Oh, what? Wow, I charged way too much. People do not get thirsty on a fairly mild. Oh, I should have charged 7 cents. Whew. Youchie. Axel says, I think you have a line going up the block with the amount of cups you sold. Are you sure that is just lemonade you're selling, right? Oh my gosh. All right. We still have a pretty good bit of product in hand. Temperatures in the 90s and high humidity. But do we trust the darn Canadian weather? And prices are going up a little bit. Looks like lemonade 96. Man, I was really the low humidity in comparison to what we had seen. Pretty far down from the temperature 96. Gotta be closer to 96 to have the high humidity according to what the instructions said. I'm going to put no. But temperature is up a little bit, so 20 cents says 410, girl. Let's spin with the 20. Let's find out what happens with 20. Hopefully we're going to have a hot day here coming soon. We can charge that $100. $100. You got to add, how many zeros you got to add to the end of 100 cents? How many we need? 2 more? Or 3 more? Wait a minute. How does math work? 2 more, right? Making lemons out of lemonade, the race says. That's right. Talbert says 2. That's what I was thinking too. But I'm streaming. I get 100% stupider when I'm streaming. As a Canadian, no, you cannot. It says tweet. It has to listen to the environment. If I had charged 14 cents, I could have grossed a little bit more. I could have maxed out at 14 cents. Went too high. Dadgummit, still low humidity in the 70s. Bag of sugar, it's okay. Still got product. We're going to keep on moving on. Son of a flabbity flab. All right. We still see a pretty good product here. No, thank you. Ooh, it's cool day. It's a way cool day. I think I'm going to charge a nickel. What do you think? A nickel? Ooh, that's a really cool day, though. Might have to heat the lemonade up. What do you think? 3 cents? What do you think? 6 cents, Tolbert says. 4 says 14. I'm going to split the difference and I'm going to go a nickel. I'm going to go a nickel. My initial hope was to go a nickel. Should have charged. I'll go 6 cents. You may wait. Oh, because the product costs money too. 5 cents was best price for today. Yeah. Woo. It's the best we could do. It was really just the best we could do. Moo says, see everyone next time, 3 a.m. Hey, thank you all the way in France. Tato Moo, thank you so much. And thank you for the follow earlier. And we look forward to seeing you again. We do this every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right, here we go. $1.05. Yeah, that's right. 14. So tell my relatives, dadgummit, still, the weather's just not cooperating. Just not cooperating at all. Axel says, and here in the UK, nice weather here tomorrow. Have to see it. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's take a look. We're gonna keep what we got so far. I could be just like banking. I'm assuming that if you make it to day 10 and you have a bunch of product, you just lose that, right? So we're on week 7. No, it's gonna be another crap day. 75 and 69. I mean, what are we thinking here? 12 cents was what we got, something near that last time. Let's go 12 cents. It made 0 sales at 12 cents. Dollar says 8. You should have went 8. Oh, okay. You charged 5 cents. Wow. Okay. I would have thought, man, all right. Okay, fine. Stupid game. 80s and low humidity again. Man, this game is just not cooperating. I feel like there's maybe a 69. 69, dude. Nice. Holy bananas. All right, let's see. 0 on that too. All right. Do you want to change any of the items? No. So as you guys can tell, Lemonade's pretty fun, right? I mean, the game loop is fun. Would you have played Pitfall this long? Would you have played a Pitfall clone with like 2, like I was thinking maybe I could get like 5 screens in worth of stuff and work it out. I mean, and I was just thinking about it. I kept thinking about it going, what could engage people? I'm like, I really wanted to do a Pitfall type because I just love Pitfall. But one of the reasons why I love Pitfall is because there's so many levels to go and just, man, I don't know. So 82 and 81, we're going to go with the 17 cents, as Dr. Tolbert says, just what the doctor ordered. Let's find out how we do. Will we break the $50 mark? We did. Look at that. Just barely over 50. Yeah. So what would have happened if, what would have been the max? What would have been the best? 9 cents. Okay. So a little high. That's fine. Warp says, my stepdad had me calculate my hourly wages for a summer of running the lemonade stand. It was depressing. That is a fact. Hey, look, looks like we're finally going to get some higher temperatures on this day. This may be our best bet at doing the $100 to see what happens. I think we still got product, and we're about to end the game here of our 10 weeks, so I don't think we need to buy any more. So let's how many, am I change any items? No, I do not. 85 and 77. Dadgummit. I'm gonna go one more time. I don't think we're gonna get good prices on this one. I'm gonna go 12 cents. At least we broke 50. Maybe this last day will be a hot day. Maybe the last day of summer will be a hot day. Looks like I did pretty good on pricing this one. Maybe I underpriced it a little bit. Yeah. Good germs. Are you thinking lemonade again in yours, or a different product? I am definitely thinking of lemons for a very specific reason, and I'll explain that very shortly. But it's going to be different. It's not going to be like this. I was inspired by a couple of things have inspired me here for the game that I'm thinking of. Lemonade Stand, educational game. Oregon Trail, educational game. As well as 90s. All right, this might be good. As well as inspired by the ABC after school specials. So those three things have kind of converged into this idea for a game. All right. Not going to buy anything again because this is number 10. We still got product we got to get rid of. Nope. All right. 103 and a web bulb is 94. Looking good. This is our chance to cash in. How many cents do we want? 10,000. Okay. Oh, it won't let me. It won't let me do more than. Oh man, it won't let me do more than. I only can do 2 digits. It's only doing 2 digits. Okay, so 99 cent. All right. Well, I was hoping, Tolbert. So I guess we'll have to do 99 cents. That's the maximum we can do. All right, let's go 99 cents. Let's rock out, baby. Almost $1. Oh, you make no sales. In 1980s, ain't nobody spending 99 cents. We should have charged 18 cents. Come on. The summer is over. You have $58.04. You owe your family $10, so you earn $48.04. If you double that, which is what we've seen since the 80s, I think it's a 2x, right? I think so. Something around $80, right? Or almost $90. Let's just say 100 for funsies. So probably that's like about $100. You earned $100 for 10 weeks of your summer, so that's what? I got to move to a better neighborhood, Warforged. Jeez. You have 321 cups, 4 bottles of lemon juice, and 16 kilograms of sugar left over. What are you going to do with that? We're going to make some lemon pound cake. All right, speaking of which, let's disassemble. So I'm gonna do some movement real quick because I want to put some stuff up here on display. And so what we'll do is we'll look at one more demo while I arrange everything. And now we're getting to the place where I'm like, ooh, have we seen that one? I feel like we've probably seen that one. I'm pretty sure we watched Mojo. That's a 4-disc. We don't need that much time. Next level. That one's Nightfall. That one's a single discer. 9. Did we do 9? Warp4 says the Apple version has a greed strategy where on a hot day at least one person would pay big for a cup of coffee. Nice. Cup of lemonade. Did we do old men and used cars? Wonder. I don't know what Wonder is, but it's got my attention. So let's do Wonder. While I rearrange things here. So hold on to your butts. Hold on to your butts as I move this stuff around. Whoop. Got a crazy dog barking it up out there. Can you hear him? He is barking it up. Here, let's get this moved out of the way. I should put my banker's hat on. Make some banker's money. Put in the bank. That is my dog. Can you guys hear him? I'll turn the filter off so we can hear him. Boy, this is a long loader. This is a long loader, y'all. This is taking forever. All right, good. Y'all can hear him. He's a big old husky German Shepherd mix, and he's crazy. Yeah, I probably should have loaded up. Probably should have put Jiffy DOS, right? I should have probably done the Jiffy DOS. Made this load up a little faster. If I'd had any sense. Dun, 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 dun. Ba, 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 da, ba, da, ba, dum, ba, 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 da, ba, da, ba, dum, ba, ba. Do, 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 do. Ba, da, ba, da, ba, da. Oh man, this really is taking a long time. I really am thinking maybe I should have. Oh, I just heard it make a thing. Heard it make a noise. It went burp, burp. Boop, boop. I'm putting this on a tray. Eat. So we can easily access it at another time. Oh, finally loading up. I think we got something. Choose demo or note. Let's demo it. Oh, interesting. Okay. Throws out the character set there. Oxyron! Heard Oxyron is addictive. Be careful out there. You can use Jiffy, Mark. Oh yeah! Yes, Mark, anything you could use with the original, you can use with the Commodore 64 Ultimate. I don't know of anything you can't. Conspiracle, what's up? How's it going, my friend? Prove it, you can. Am I just going to wear my glasses the entire night? I think I should. That's pretty cool. How they do that? How they freaking do that? I don't even know. It's blowing my mind, little ducky. Wear it to sleep for extra nerd cred. It's got to be the math. They got to be doing the math. These parallax bars. However, they are just what? Where are they? Keep you occupied. Uh-oh. While depacking. What are you depacking over there, dude? All right. Oh, that's right. Are we supposed to like... Almost ready. It's a 3D action role-playing game. Okay, so this actually has a game in it. So this is not just a demo. This is a demo. That's pretty cool. All right. Smack it. Why am I having trouble opening these? Why would you make these so hard to open? Twist it. Pop it. Smack it. Nope. Uh-oh. Did I do that? I think I did that. All right, that's fine. That's fine, because you know what it is? It's time for us to look at this thing I was talking about. We did panic. All right. What we have here? We have some prototyping of a lemonade stand. All right, so this is a 3D print I did. I did not design this, and it failed terribly, but that's okay. It's just a little prop. This will be part of our prototyping. What? All right, so we're going to do a lemonade stand type game. Yeah, no supports. I should have done some supports, right? So we're going to do a lemonade type game. We're going to prototype it with some real things, right? So got some lemon heads to represent lemons, right? I got my Kawasaki out, right? Gosh, don't you have one of these? Little drum pad for a little music, right? Get a little inspired for some funky music, right? Got some look at this. Got me a tally counter Tally Me bananas. I got a couple of them because there's a couple of them. Tally Me some lemons. So essentially, the idea is this. Oh, thank you, Ventura Viking. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good Friday or Saturday, where in the world you are. Boy, that's loud, isn't it? All right. So we got a couple of tally counters, and the reason why is because we're going to use those to keep up with timing. So here's the pitch. All right, ready for the pitch? All right, here we go. Let me see if I can explain it. Well, I didn't get out of that mode. How come I won't get back out of the mode? You can't see me if you do that. All right, so here's the pitch. All right, so I'm thinking of a lemonade stand kind of game, but maybe not as basic as what they did with that in basic. But it may end up being just basic, but that's not my intention. My intention is to do something in assembly for the Commodore 64. It's going to be a Commodore 64 game is what I'm hoping for. That's the idea anyway. And it may change a lot from this form. I did not try to limit myself in the thinking, right? There's going to be plenty of time for maximizing things and getting where they need to be. But basically, it's this. So instead of lemons, okay, so instead of purchasing lemon ingredients, I have these cards, which I'm going to illustrate. And eventually, I'm going to open. And I've been messing with for the last 5 minutes trying to get them to open. Do I have a razor? So essentially, it's this. There's a kid, and he has a lemonade stand. You're the kid. And every day you start the day out with, instead of weather, you have bad life weather. So every day he gets bad news when he starts. And according to how bad that news is, determines how many lemons you start out with for that day. So you're, instead of using the weather, you're using bad things happening. So instead of the people purchasing the lemonade is mostly based on your sanity meter. So there's going to be a sanity meter. I finally got these stupid things open. So I'm thinking of a sanity meter that is impacted by the bad news. The worse the news, the more supply you have with lemons. If life gives you lemons, make flamin' lemons. So exactly. So if life gives you lemons, then you can profit from that. However, as you profit, your mind, you lose sanity over time. So that's kind of the game. That's the game variables. I've written all this down. I've documented it, and I will share more with exactly how I'm planning on covering all of that. But essentially, it's going to have cards. Like you'll get 3 cards when you start. So like, and these will represent the things you can purchase, right? And we're going to sell more than just lemonade. So you'll be able to buy any product you can think of that you can make with lemonade. And we're not going to worry about ingredients. We're going to worry about just cash. So you'll get bad news, and that will be your lemon supply. As you sell lemonade your first round, you will earn cash. And then the next time around, you'll have cards that will pop up. You have 3 cards that will pop up, 3 different types of ingredients. Maybe like not ingredients, but 3 different types of lemon products. So you could have like lemonades always shows up there. And then maybe another one would be like lemon pound cake. And then another one would be like lemon meringue pie, right? And lemonade always just costs lemons because water's free with your mom, and sugar you steal it from your mom, whatever. But the other parts, it costs cash to get it. But you don't have to worry about ingredients. Just know that it costs $5, right? And then the other one cost $10. Lemon cake, whatever. So that's some of your variables over on each day when you start up, right? And so the cash component will not be about buying ingredients, but about what you're essentially unlocking for product to sell. I should have got a pie. So yeah, no lemon party, man. Just no lemon party. And so that's where this kind of comes in play. So we'll have, you'll get bad news. So we'll have a bad news deck too, right? There'll be bad news deck, like X number of things that could happen. There'll actually be multiple decks. In the first couple of days, you'll have a choice out of one deck that will yield X number of lemons. And as you go along, more bad things could happen, but higher amounts of lemons. A stealing sugar minigame. So the minigame, I was actually thinking about that. So the minigame is going to be, because I needed more factors on your sanity meter, right? So I was thinking with that, we could have a pet. So there will be a deck. There'll be a small deck that will have pets. And the pets will range from fish, turtle, cat, dog, different pets. But each one of them has an emotional weight to them. When you get... Yeah. So when you get... it wasn't working, then all of a sudden it started working. So you'll get you can have a fish every day. It will rotate through the pets. If you don't have a pet, the local neighborhood will be offering different pets, right? So free of charge. And so you can get them at any point in time. This is the mini game part of it. And there's a risk, but there's a reward too. If you do that, your sanity meter will slowly increase. If you have a pet, each round, it will give a little buff to your sanity meter. But then it opens up another set of bad news cards that includes your pets. And it just gets shuffled in. And if a pet thing happens, then that's much more devastating to your sanity, right? So I've made this very with a lot of variables to see what's going to work and what's not going to work. And I'm going to be prototyping this over the next couple of months or whatever. And I'm using different physical means, and we'll start proper next week. We'll start testing it proper. I'll be testing it offline too. But essentially, like I said, a pet will affect your sanity. It's a buff most times, but sometimes it can be, it can be very bad. But I also bought a whole bunch of dice as well, so we could have all these different types of what we think the numbers might be. So I've got all these different shaped dice that I bought as well. So I was like, let's see what numbers, and what factors could we play, because if you get I got to find out how well Commodore does with percentages when you're talking about gaming. These are things that I'm wanting to learn as I study. I've thought about all the program parts and all of the gaming parts, and I've been trying to match them up. 410 Girl says you could do siblings too. Complication: your fish is not a fish; it's an octopus. You think, right? So I've got all of these potentials, and I've documented a whole bunch of it. And I've already forgotten a whole bunch of it, but I've documented it, and we will go over what I've documented. I've got a nice little book here with thoughts and ideas, and over the next couple of weeks, we will kind of settle into what is going to be the major components, and then we'll kind of lay out what we think the the graphics should look like, and then we'll move forward from there. But basically, like I said, the game has switched from a pitfall type that I thought after a little while, I'm like, I just don't know if it would, be fun as far as playing for more than 5 seconds. And I wanted something that could give you lots of fun, like a lemonade stand. I mean, you could it's just a lot of fun. I am thinking of like arcadeifying it though, because I'm thinking I want all the decisions to be made in either a thoughtful manner, where if you're a player who likes to strategize and min-max things, I want to make it so they can have fun. I want it to be where you can just almost not think and just keep re-rolling, kind of like when you play blackjack. It's just kind of like hit me kind of thing. So I'm going to use 4 direction, 1 button, keyboard or joystick control, and you can choose to kind of like hit me again, and just go day and day and day until you fail, or there is a win scenario, and we'll talk about that later. Or if you like to min-max things, I may allow it so that you can key over with the controller or keyboard and make adjustments to your bets, essentially. Like, I think the bad news tomorrow is going to be super bad, and therefore I'm going to be in a bad mood, and I'm not going to sell very much lemonade. But I'm going to get a whole bunch of lemons, right? So I have plenty of that. So what kind of bet do you want to make? So I'm going to try to boil down the math of it and make it as simple to understand as possible, and kind of quick and fast, but also addicting. So those are kind of things I've been thinking about. Could permanently lose sanity unless you pay for surgery for your pet or something, right? So that's the idea. The lose scenario is lose your mind, because that's what we're talking about, turning lemons into lemonade. But if your sanity is gone, you're done, right? You're done. The win scenario is maybe just number of rounds. If you survive number of rounds, is what most likely it did in Lemonade Stand, right? So yeah, I plan on keep working this, workshopping it week after week. I'll have some real instructions next week, hopefully, to describe it a little bit better, because I know I didn't describe it very well. But we'll do more of that. But basically, Lemons to Lemonade, an 8-bit computer game that will hopefully have an addictive gameplay that will make you keep wanting to kind of play like blackjack or something. Just keep one more time. That's the idea. All right. So thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight for 8-Bit Computer Club. We do this every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, typically to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We went until 9:30, so we went 3 hours this time. Take that, what you think. But we did a lot of things. We did some desoldering. We made a little more progress on our TI-99 keyboard. We talked about our game. I'm eating some of these lemon heads now. But we watched some demos from Demo Scene. We talked about the Commodore 64 Ultimate. We had a raid. Thank you so much, Venturous Viking, for the follow earlier, and our French friends who dropped in, Retro Dodo. Thank you for the follow, Tato Moo. Thank you for the resub from Ron Triniton. And let's see, we got Buzzcat12. Thank you for the follow. Modest Mike dropped in earlier as well. Captain Kipper kicked us off today with a resub with Prime. So thank you for sharing that Prime sub with me. I should not have put this in my mouth. Now my mouth is watering. Anyway, all right. So thank you so much. We're back next week. I should be back on Monday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time for some Play Retro action. If you don't know what that is, take a look at some of the previous videos, but I do a once a week podcast with Scott Johnson about retro video games. And this week we are heading back to the arcade, but do make sure if you want to do something over the weekend, make sure you're following Tonda Gasa, who will be streaming this weekend, and where I'll be hanging out probably a little bit tomorrow as well. Great retro streamer and good friend, and someone I'm going to see shortly. I have missed you. It's going to be fun. We're going to play some pinball. I can feel it. All right, let's take a look and see if there is anybody out there for the rating. TV's Travis, thank you. Oh, TV's Travis, hit us on Discord. All right, let's see. La 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 la. Let's see who's out there. I see that girl Joey is online. I wonder if she's still going to be around for. Oh, Atari Beer Pong is also online. What do you think? I think Joey is probably going to tune in real quick. I think she's wrapping up. And I think Atari Beer Pong is kicking off. So I think that's the reason why we usually do this anyway. So we're going to raid in on Atari Beer Pong, good friend of ours. Also another nice retro game streamer who keeps it fairly clean. And all likes to do those RNG Fridays, viewer requests, Atari, Sega, Nintendo, and DOS games. So we're going to do that raid in on there. Yeah, in real life interaction. We're definitely going to bring, absolutely, Tonda, we will definitely be bringing the game with us to Nerdtacular and hopefully play that a little bit. I'm going to get a chance to hopefully illustrate some of these cards. These are just blank cards that a little matte finish. And so I'll try to create some artwork, get inspired. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited. Let's do this. Let's raid in on our good friend Atari Beer Pong and hope you guys have a good night. Safe as Obi wholesomeness, Nobi. Right? All right, let's see it. Let's see you guys over there. Let's go.